Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Live with Coach Deborah. I am excited to have you here. Welcome, 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 welcome. You know, it's all about reach. And this month, we are reaching out to fill that gap. We don't want our young people falling into those places where they will get lost. So that's what we're talking about this month. Excuse me. So all of us working together, we can do so much more. Today, I'm going to be talking about just a phase or out of control. Just a phase or out of control. Make sure that you like my Build Your Best Life page, subscribe to my YouTube page, make sure that you comment and share. We want to get this word out to everybody all over the world. So please help me out by sharing. Excuse me. Well, you know that first-time parents of teens are not always ready to handle the behaviors that they may encounter. Because any of us that have already been teens, or we have raised or assisted with raising teens or worked with teens, know that you get a whole bunch of different reactions and emotions. And you begin to get that back talk, you know. Ooh, where's that coming from? It's so funny with my oldest son. Very disrespectful, very respectful, even through his teen years. So it was always yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. He just didn't say anything. That younger one, he had to make sure that he got the last word in. I don't care how much he got threatened or what. He's going to get that last word in. So that back talk, disrespect, drastic changes in grades. You know, sometimes it's they let them slip because they're doing other things. And sometimes it's because of peer pressure, because they get teased when they make A's. Get called nerd, geek, whatever. So that can be something. They become defiant. Some of them, not all, but some. And then you can get these outbursts that like, where is this coming from? And we're always told, those are the hormones that are changing. Well, based on everything that you've heard over the years, what your friends say and what your family confirms, your child is just going through a phase. Don't worry, they will grow out of it. This is what you will continue to hear. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's just natural. Well, guess what? Every generation is different. And the world has changed vastly over the years. So what may have been normal behavior 50 years ago, 30 years ago, it may not be that way now. You cannot always rely on what you and others think you know. That's why, I'm always talking about reading. And, you probably get tired of hearing that. But you have to read, do research, stay relevant to what's going on in the environment, what changes are going on, because you need to stay on top of everything. So, like that, with that being said, you have to listen. You have to stay focused on what is normal behavior. What is normal behavior? What does that mean? Uh, because some behavior, you may look at it and say, I don't know about that, but you don't want anything to negatively impact your child. But then, you got somebody, over here. Oh, that's normal. Don't pay any attention. They walk through, they don't speak, and you jump onto them. Oh, don't worry about that. That's just a teen. Okay, but that's just being rude, So parents need to be proactive and prepare for what may occur. It's always better to, you have that spare tire. You may have your car for 4 or 5 years and never pull that spare out. But isn't it comforting to know that you have that spare? Same thing with being equipped and ready for what may happen in the life of your teen and your young adult. It's better to be equipped and ready to handle something that may come up rather than it come up and you have to throw up your hands because you have no idea. Therefore, again, you have to be proactive, learn the signs and what to do when those problems arise. And if you just tuned in, today we are talking, our topic is just the phase or out of control. Just the phase are out of control. Now let's dig into this a little bit. Not going to keep you long, but you need to dig into it a little bit because it is really, really key. It's very important. Your kids are maybe going to a new school. They may have gone from elementary to middle school, junior high, or from middle school, junior high to high, or high to college. Or they may have just changed schools, so you got new associates. So a lot of different dynamics may be going on. So with that change, different teachers, different coaches, different friends, and we know everybody is not what they appear to be. So let's just talk about a couple different areas. One of them is truancy. I know here in Florida, and I'm sure it's everywhere, that if your minor child does not go to school, then the parents will get in trouble for that. You're supposed to make sure that your child is in school. However, suddenly your child, for whatever reason, they just don't want to go to school. And it's like, what do you mean you don't want to go to school? You have to go to school. If you don't go to school, you can't learn. Well, you can teach me. No, I can't. I have to go to work. Okay, what's the problem? You must go to school. Well, then they begin to say, my head hurts so bad. I just can't lift my head up off the pillow. Oh, my stomach. I have a stomach ache. Well, you had a stomach ache before, don't you? Do you need to go work things out and get things moving? Oh, no, it hurts. It never hurt like this before. And sometimes if it's the first time or second time you've heard this, you don't want to push it too much. So you think, okay, they never complained before, so maybe they're ill and you let them stay home. But then you notice that a pattern begins to set in. Every couple of days or whatever, something's hurting. They don't want to go to school. Well, I didn't tell you, but yesterday I fell while I was at practice. Or I stumbled while I was in PE. And now my leg hurts. Now my back hurts. Something hurts. Well, just because they're not wanting to go to school, it may not have anything to do with academics, believe it or not. It can be a host of other things. They can be being bullied. It can be the onset of mental illness. It can be someone introduced them to substance abuse by trickery or just getting them to try it. Someone may be enticing them to join a gang, or they may be some unsavory individuals at their new school, and they are, enticing them to hang out with them, and they don't want to. They don't know how to say no or how to get out of doing it. So they don't want to say anything to you because they don't want you to go to the school. They don't want to be considered a tattletale, snitch. So they just make up excuses why they need to stay home. Are they just going through a phase, or is there something that's out of control that you as a parent, you as an educator, you as a youth leader need to address? Now, I think it was last week that I was saying you have to stay relevant. You've got to do that research because there's always something popping up, or there's something that you've never heard of before. So I do research. Well, I came up with something as I was researching for this particular topic that I myself had not heard of. And when I was working on my master's degree, I didn't study this particular one, but it's called conduct disorder. Conduct disorder. Who would think that there would be such a thing? But it is, and it is a form of mental health that where the individual, they show real aggressive behavior that is harmful for others. So it's not just they may be saying things to you that seems out of character, or they're being more aggressive, but they are literally being aggressive or doing things to someone else. Excuse me. Now, this conduct disorder is actually on a spectrum of disruptive behavioral disorders, as is ODD, or oppositional defiant disorder. And I know a lot of times people throw around those acronyms, and if you're not quick, it just goes over your head. So ODD, or oppositional defiant disorder. So we're in this oppositional defiant disorder can actually lead to the conduct disorder. As well, a person can have the conduct disorder and have some other things to go along with it. So it's, not only is it out of control, but they're dealing with multiple things. This is just how important this is. So they may have this conduct disorder, and they also may have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. So they can have those two things together. They can have the conduct disorder along with depression. They can have the conduct disorder along with learning disorders. So just imagine having one thing that they're having to deal with, but when they have multiple things that they have to deal with. So that's why we need to look for signs and be in place so that we can help fill in those gaps, do what we need to do to get them back on track. But we can't do that if we don't recognize that something is going wrong. Now, like I said, this conductive disorder was new to me, so I had to dig. But it can actually appear before age 10, where the average age of someone that has conductive disorder is between 10 and 19 years of age, but some can get it before age 10. It is more common in males. Don't know why, but the research indicates that it is more common in males. And it said those born males, but I'm going to just say males. Also, it affects between 2 to 10% of the children in the United States. Now, we're not even talking about other countries worldwide, but 2 to 10% of children just in the United States. And to me, that's huge. And so that helps me to understand when we talk about mental health and suicide in our young people, why that's so high up on the scale for deaths among our young people. So we really need to be proactive, get involved, and fill in some of these gaps. Now, when we talk about the conductive disorder, the core behaviors that your child may exhibit is 4 things. The first one is being deceitful, lying, and stealing. So, you've never seen it before. All of a sudden, you got money missing out of your wallet. You ask questions, and they tell you something, and you know for a fact it's not true. You ask something, and they say one thing, but the look they have on their face is telling you that's not it. So the lying, the stealing, and being deceptive. The second one is, I talked about it earlier, being very, very aggressive. So they have aggression, and they are in a harmful way. They express this aggression towards other humans as well as animals. So I know you've probably seen it on TV. I've never known anyone to actually exhibit the behavior, but someone, every time you see them, they want to kill an animal. What are you doing? Where's a rabbit? Okay, but the rabbit was not bothering you. It's a creature that God created. It may have a family in the woods and maybe have been looking for food. Why would you kill a rabbit? I just wanted to see what it felt like to kill a rabbit. Okay, that's not normal behavior. They may be a teen, but that's not normal behavior. So they begin to show that aggression. They just got to kill animals. You happen to look out the window. They may have one of their siblings or a neighbor shaking them or doing something to them. You want to keep an eye. Okay, the third one is violating rules. So we know whether they're a teen, young adult, a small child. Some kids just, they don't want to obey. They know right from wrong, and you say, well, don't do this, don't do that. They'll do it anyway. But I guess as they mature and we know that they know right from wrong, they should have the self-discipline to obey rules. So when we know they understand, when we say you have to be home by 6 on school nights because you have to do your homework, them coming at 7 or 8 just because they felt like it is not acceptable. And you continue to tell them, you give them some type of disciplinary action, and they continue to do it. Is that just a phase, or is it out of control? That's something to think about. And then the last one is destruction of property. Destruction of property. And you might be like, what do you mean by that? Well, have you ever seen a child, every single thing you buy them is tore up? Oh, I just got to have a drone. You see the drone and it's almost broken half in 2. Well, what happened to the drone? I don't know. I guess it came down too hard. They want a laptop. You look at the laptop, the screen's cracked. How did the screen get cracked? It should have been on the desk. You don't take it to school. What happened to it? I don't know. You don't know? It didn't just crack. It hasn't been in a hot vehicle or anything. What do you mean you don't know? I might have threw something in the midst and hit it, but they begin to destruct property. And then again, you've seen this on TV where you have the young arsonists. They want to just set things on fire and just watch it burn. Just watch it burn. It used to be when cars had antennas, people would just walk along and just pop at people's antennas off their car for no reason. But these are the 4, and I'm going to repeat them. The 4 main core behaviors. The number 1 was being deceitful, lying, and stealing. 2, showing aggression towards people and animals, and that's actually harming the people and animals. Violation of rules, and then the destruction of property. Now, I know I've only mentioned a couple things, But, I could just keep going and going and going. But just to want to give you an idea of how essential and how these things that some people think are mere can actually be out of control. So yes, we want our young people to have fun. We want them to enjoy themselves. We don't want them to feel like we're just constantly on them or judging them. But we do have to be diligent in watching to ensure that they're okay. That's the number one thing there for us authoritative figures, to make sure that they're okay. They're okay. Physically and mentally, they're okay. So please be vigilant if you have young children, and especially young children and teens. And you can have this with your young adults as well, because they go off to school sometimes and they can get into different things. So you just have to be diligent and watch. Read. You may not like to read, but it is so helpful. Like you see an article, sometimes you're flipping through something or something pop up in your email. You don't really want to read it, but is it eye-catching? Is it saying something about our young people? Read it. Someone recommends a book. You don't have to just, every time somebody recommends something, get it. But you can look at the reviews, do a review, go to Google and ask for reviews and see. And it may be something very interesting that will assist you in raising this new generation of young people and the current issues and things that they are having to face. Because again, we love them. We don't want to see them go down. We want to see them be the best that they can be, because we know that they are smart and intelligent, but they can fall through gaps. Life happens to everybody, but we want to try to catch some of these things before it gets huge. Right? So, someone, it could be me, it could be you or you, needs to assist in identifying roadblocks, pitfalls, and rough terrain that young people may encounter daily. It may be in school. It may be in the park. It may be at church. It may be a mentor. We never know what goes on, right? But we need to assist. We need to reach out. Remember, this year is all about reach. So we have to reach out. We have to reach out to ensure that we are in place and doing those things that we need to do. Okay, so let's all reach out, and like this month, we're reaching out to fill those gaps, and we want to make sure that we are in place and we're doing the due diligence and doing what we need to do, right? So again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you missed any of this, please go back. Please share. Make sure that everybody can get this content. Please make sure that you check out my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org. Check out my blog. I'm so excited about my blogs. They come out every Monday at 10 a.m. Exciting topics to assist and to help you and those build their best lives. As well, you can see my calendar of events. You can see the products that I offer, my services. I am a life coach. I am here to assist our young people, our mothers with sons, our educators, everyone. I'm here to assist. And I speak, I do webinar speaking, and I've written a book, Build Your Best Life. It's about your actions, your credibility, and your life, and overcoming obstacles to build your best life. So please check out my website. And from there, you can go to my social media sites where you can get the content that I deliver there Monday through Friday. as well, make sure that you join us Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. It is time for Real Talk with Deborah and Anastasia. That's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday, September 23rd. And our topic is going to be how to cope when you fall in the gap. How to cope when you fall in the gap. Excuse me. So make sure that you check us out on Saturday. I would greatly appreciate it. And always remember, as you go along your busy day, you may encounter a young man that has lost his way. Don't shake your head. Don't steady your pace. Stop. Reach out and assist the young man. All right? Because if all of us do more, we can make an impact on this world. And whatever you do, remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I will be looking for you Saturday. I love you, love you, love you. It's all good. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.